When you stay stressed every day, your body does not treat it as just a feeling inside your mind, because stress is not only an emotion, it is also a biological response designed to help you survive dangerous situations. Thousands of years ago, this response was extremely useful because humans faced short moments of danger where they needed quick energy, fast reactions, and immediate action. But your body was never designed to stay in that state constantly, because when stress appears, your brain sends signals that activate what is often called the fight or flight response, causing your body to release hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol. These chemicals prepare you to deal with a threat by increasing your heart rate, raising blood pressure, sharpening attention, and directing more energy towards survival systems. At first, these changes can seem helpful, because stress can temporarily make you more alert, focused, and energized. But when stress stops, your body normally returns to a balanced state, allowing recovery and repair to happen. However, when stress becomes part of daily life, something very different begins happening, because your body continues receiving signals that tell it danger is still present, even if there is no actual physical threat. This creates a situation where systems that were meant to be active for minutes remain active for days, weeks, or even months. One of the first things you may notice is changes in energy, because chronic stress can create a strange cycle where you feel mentally exhausted but physically restless at the same time. You may wake up tired even after sleeping and feel like your body never completely recovers, because stress hormones can interfere with normal sleep patterns, causing your brain to remain more active even during times when it should be slowing down. This affects sleep quality, making it harder to enter deep restorative stages of sleep. Another thing that starts changing is your mood, because stress directly affects areas of the brain involved in emotional regulation. As stress continues, you may begin feeling more irritable, impatient, or emotionally sensitive. Small problems that once felt manageable may suddenly feel much bigger, because your brain becomes more reactive and less efficient at controlling emotional responses. Your concentration can also begin changing, because even though stress initially sharpens focus, long periods of stress often produce the opposite effect. The brain starts becoming overloaded with constant alert signals, and eventually maintaining attention becomes more difficult. You may forget simple things, lose track of thoughts, struggle to stay focused, and feel mentally drained even during basic activities. And while these changes may initially seem like ordinary tiredness, they often represent the beginning of deeper processes taking place inside the body. Processes that continue building the longer stress remains part of everyday life. As stress continues day after day, your body starts making deeper adjustments, because constant exposure to stress hormones begins influencing many systems at the same time. And one of the most noticeable changes often involves your heart and circulation. Because when stress occurs, your heart works harder, pumping blood faster in preparation for action. And while this is useful during short moments of danger, remaining in this state continuously can place extra strain on your cardiovascular system. Your heart rate may remain elevated more often, your blood pressure may stay higher, and your body begins operating as if it constantly expects another threat to appear. Your breathing patterns can also change, because many people under long-term stress unknowingly begin breathing in shorter, shallower patterns. And over time, this can create feelings of tension, tightness, or even the sensation that it is difficult to fully relax. Your muscles may also begin responding, because during stress, the body naturally creates tension, particularly around areas like the neck, shoulders, jaw, and back. And if stress becomes a daily experience, this tension can remain for long periods, eventually leading to discomfort, headaches, or a feeling that your body never truly relaxes. Another major system affected by chronic stress is digestion, because during survival situations, your body prioritizes immediate survival functions over digestion, meaning that when stress hormones rise, resources may temporarily shift away from digestive activity. And if this happens repeatedly, digestive processes can become disrupted. Some people may experience changes in appetite, eating more than usual, while others lose interest in food entirely, because stress affects hormones involved in hunger and fullness. And beyond appetite, stress can influence the speed and efficiency of digestion itself, leading to discomfort or irregular patterns. Your immune system may also begin changing, because while short periods of stress can briefly activate certain immune responses, long-term stress often creates the opposite effect, making it harder for the body to maintain normal defense functions. And because of this, some people may notice they become sick more often or take longer to recover from illness. Another important effect happens inside the brain, because chronic stress may influence memory, learning, and mental performance. Your brain is constantly trying to process and manage the signals associated with stress, and eventually, this constant activity can begin draining mental resources, making thoughts feel slower, concentration more difficult, and decision-making less effective. You may feel like your mind is filled with noise, making it harder to think clearly or stay present. And over time, these physical and mental effects start combining together, creating a cycle where poor sleep, lower energy, emotional strain, and mental fatigue continue reinforcing each other, making daily life gradually feel heavier and more difficult than before. As long periods pass with stress remaining part of everyday life, the effects can spread further throughout your body and begin influencing your overall quality of life, because the body was never designed to stay in survival mode continuously. And one of the strongest long-term changes often involves how you experience daily activities. Because when your brain and body constantly expect stress, your baseline state may gradually shift, meaning that feeling tense, worried, or mentally overloaded starts becoming normal, even though it was never meant to be your normal state. Your emotional responses may become stronger, and situations that once felt small can begin feeling overwhelming, because the brain areas responsible for emotional balance may become less effective, while systems related to threat detection remain more active. Your motivation can also change, because long periods of stress often drain physical and mental energy, making activities that once felt enjoyable seem less interesting or require more effort. Your relationships may become affected, because stress can influence patience, communication, and emotional availability, causing interactions with other people to feel more difficult than before. And even your productivity may change, because concentration, decision-making, memory, and energy all work together. And when several of these systems become disrupted at the same time, maintaining performance can become harder. One of the most important things to understand is that chronic stress does not always feel dramatic, because many people imagine stress as intense emotional reactions. But in reality, long-term stress often builds quietly through everyday pressures, worries, responsibilities, lack of recovery, and constant mental overload, until eventually your body begins adapting to an unhealthy state without you fully realizing it. And over time, you may notice symptoms such as feeling tired even after sleeping, difficulty relaxing, constant mental activity, lower motivation, increased tension, and a general feeling that your body and mind are always working harder than they should. And eventually this reveals something important, which is that stress was never meant to become a permanent condition, because the same response designed to protect you during moments of danger can become harmful when activated continuously. And while modern life may create situations where stress feels unavoidable, your body still follows biological systems developed long before phones, schedules, deadlines, and constant stimulation existed. And those systems still expect periods of rest, recovery, and balance, because without recovery, the body cannot fully repair itself mentally, physically, or emotionally. And understanding this relationship helps explain why taking care of stress is not simply about feeling calmer, but about protecting nearly every system inside your body. Because when stress remains every day, it slowly changes how you think, how you feel, how you sleep, how your body functions, and ultimately, how you experience life itself.